The Walmart you used to know by heart, every aisle memorized, isn't really that place anymore. Right now, everything from the prices on the shelf to the person standing next to you at checkout is quietly changing, and most shoppers haven't caught on yet. You'd be awesome if you subscribed and liked this video. Prices change while the item is already in your cart. You pick up a $5 box of cereal, toss it in your cart, walk a few more aisles, then head to checkout. The price that scans is $7.07. This isn't a glitch. It's actually happening right now in a lot of Walmart stores as electronic shelf tags replace the paper labels we've relied on for decades. Starting late last year and continuing into this year, Walmart has been quietly installing digital price tags in thousands of stores across the country. Unlike paper labels that need to be reprinted by hand, electronic tags let headquarters change prices instantly with a single command sent from a data center. No employee has to walk around re-stickering shelves. No waiting overnight. The reason Walmart is doing this isn't hard to figure out. The cost of goods shifts by the day, sometimes by the hour, especially with fresh food and items tied to global supply chains. Digital tags let the company react the moment wholesale costs go up, or take advantage of peak demand hours when they can push prices higher, like right before a storm or a major holiday. This is the same pricing model gas stations have used for years, prices swinging a few times a day depending on the hour, now showing up in the grocery aisle. Here's what really matters for you as a shopper. In the past, seeing a price on the shelf meant you knew exactly what you'd pay. That's no longer a sure thing. An item can go up in price while you're still pushing your cart around the store. One family said they left a case of soda in their cart for 40 minutes during a weekend shopping trip, and by the time they got to checkout, the price had changed from what it showed on the shelf. I'd call this a clear disadvantage for shoppers because it takes away the ability to plan your spending with any real accuracy. The advice here isn't to avoid Walmart, it's to change how you shop. If you spot a good price, don't wander the whole store before circling back for it. Snap a photo on your phone if something seems off when it scans. And if you shop on a fixed weekly budget, leave yourself a little cushion because the number on the shelf isn't the final number anymore. 2. Your local store doesn't look the way it used to. If you only visit your usual Walmart every few months, don't be surprised if you stop dead at the entrance trying to figure out where things are. Stores across the country are going through major renovations, and that familiar feeling you once had walking down every aisle might be gone. This is rolling out in waves throughout 2026, not one quick remodel and done. Lighting is brighter, shelves have new shapes and heights, and self-checkout areas have expanded to take up most of what used to be the traditional checkout front. Some stores now have only 2 or 3 staffed registers left, with everything else replaced by rows of 8 to 10 self-checkout machines. Curbside pickup lanes, where you drive up to grab your online order, have also been added or expanded at most locations, some going from 2 lanes to 5 or 6 to cut down on the backup during after-work rush hours. Behind the fresh paint and better lighting is some very deliberate math. Walmart isn't redesigning aisle layouts just to make things look nice. The new arrangement is built to guide your steps along a specific path, slow you down, and put more shelves in front of you on the way to whatever you actually came in for. Every extra second you spend moving slower through the store is another chance for you to spot something that wasn't on your list. For you as a shopper, this means quick trips, the kind where you grab 3 things and leave, are getting harder to pull off. You'll end up walking past more eye-catching displays than before. It's classic retail design, just applied now with more precision, backed by data on exactly where shoppers tend to linger the longest. If you're someone who likes to walk in, grab exactly what you need and get out. Your best move is checking the store locator in the app before you even walk in. Don't let the new layout add 15 minutes to your trip without you realizing it. But brighter lights and nicer shelves are only the part you can see. There's another force quietly at work in those same aisles, and most shoppers haven't noticed it yet. 3. Robots are taking over familiar jobs. Next time you walk past a machine about chest high, moving slowly between the shelves and scanning light across rows of products, don't assume it's security equipment. That's an inventory robot, and it's doing work that used to take an entire team of employees walking every aisle with a clipboard. Walmart tested Bossa Nova-style robots in some stores a few years back, but by 2026, the number of stores using them has grown noticeably, along with autonomous floor scrubbing machines that run overnight, usually starting their shift after 11 at night once foot traffic thins out, plus some shelf restocking tasks now getting machine assistance too. In some locations, robots are even helping prepare home delivery orders, sorting the right items into the right bins before an employee does the final packing. The reason isn't about chasing new technology for fun. For a chain the size of Walmart, checking inventory by hand across thousands of product codes takes time and leads to mistakes, empty shelves the system doesn't know about, or inventory counts that don't match what's actually there. Robots scan continuously. They can cover a long aisle in a few minutes and report back to headquarters almost instantly when an item is running low, which makes restocking far faster than waiting for an employee to notice on a walkthrough, since staff usually only check each section once or twice per shift. For you, this cuts both ways. The upside is fewer empty shelves. The item you're looking for is more likely to be in stock when you show up, especially for fast-selling products. The downside, which doesn't get talked about much, is that the number of employees doing manual inventory checks is shrinking at a lot of stores, meaning fewer people around to ask when you're hunting for something specific that isn't on the shelf. There's one more thing worth knowing. As robots take over most of the inventory work, remaining staff are often shifted toward more direct customer service roles, working the service desk or self-checkout area instead of walking the aisles all day. So if you need help with something, the customer service counter is now a more reliable bet than hoping to catch someone stocking shelves. I think this is a change worth getting ahead of. Not to worry about it, but to know to use the item locator in the app or head straight to the service desk instead of wandering around looking for an employee like before. 4. The Walmart app is now thinking ahead for you. Open the Walmart app on any random morning and you might see it suggesting the exact brand of toilet paper you always buy, along with a note that your last purchase was about 6 weeks ago, so you're probably running low. One shopper described a similar experience with ground coffee. The app reminded them right around the time their old bag was down to just a few days' worth based on a repeat buying pattern from the previous 6 months. This isn't coincidence. The app is being rebuilt with an AI layer that learns your personal shopping habits. This upgrade is being pushed hard throughout 2026, turning the app from a simple price checking and ordering tool into something closer to a personal shopping assistant. It remembers what you buy on repeat, suggests cheaper alternatives with the same use, bundles a few items together into a deal on its own, and sends you an alert when something you've bought before is likely running low, based on your usual buying rhythm. Walmart has a very practical reason for doing this. The better it predicts what you need, the more often it keeps you coming back instead of trying a different app. Data on shopping habits from tens of millions of customers lets the system learn fast, and every well-timed suggestion is a chance for you to click and buy something extra, instead of just the items you already had in mind. For shoppers, the clear upside is saved time. You don't have to remember the last time you bought laundry detergent, the app reminds you, but you should stay alert, because a cheaper suggestion doesn't always mean real savings. Sometimes it's simply an item Walmart needs to move out of inventory. Bundled deals can also tempt you into buying something you didn't actually need just because it came with a good price. My take here is pretty clear. This technology is useful if you treat it as a reminder tool, but don't let it make the decision for you about what to buy. Clicking a suggestion doesn't automatically mean you're saving money. Sometimes it just means you're buying exactly what the algorithm wants you to buy. But a smarter app is only the beginning. Walmart is also testing a delivery method that could make waiting days for a package a thing of the past. 5. Drone delivery has become real. You come down with the flu in the middle of the night, you're out of fever reducer, and the nearest store closed hours ago. In some areas, Walmart already has an answer for that, and it's not science fiction anymore. You order cold medicine or batteries or even a gallon of milk through the app, and a drone drops it right at your front door in under 15 minutes. This program isn't brand new. Walmart has tested drone delivery in a handful of states before, but by 2026, the coverage has expanded to more areas, especially suburbs close to distribution centers, usually within a few miles of any participating store. This isn't a small pilot limited to a few dozen households anymore. It's turning into a real delivery option running alongside delivery trucks and traditional drivers. The weight limit per drone order is usually just a few pounds, enough for a box of medicine, some batteries, or a gallon of milk, but nowhere near enough for a big family's weekly grocery run. Walmart's reasoning behind this heavy investment isn't hard to understand. Fast delivery measured in minutes instead of hours or days is something not many retail competitors can pull off at scale. For small, lightweight, urgent items like medicine, batteries, or middle-of-the-night essentials, drones solve the exact problem at the exact moment a customer needs it most, when they're willing to pay a little extra just to avoid driving out themselves. For you, if you live in a covered area, this is worth trying for real emergencies, not as a replacement for your regular weekly grocery run. Fees for this kind of fast delivery tend to run higher than standard delivery, and the number of items allowed on a drone is still limited to small, lightweight products. I think this is one of the more interesting changes on this list, not because it's flashy, but because it solves a real problem for a lot of families, especially older folks living alone who don't want to drive out at midnight just because they're out of one bottle of medicine. 6. Every screen in the store is quietly watching you. Standing near the cereal aisle or the personal care section, you might notice a small digital screen playing ads between the products. It looks harmless enough, like ordinary signage, but what shows up on that screen isn't the same as what the person standing next to you sees because Walmart is personalizing these ads based on each shopper's purchase history. This screen network went up in a lot of stores over the past year, and by 2026, it's expanded to nearly every high-traffic area, entrances, cereal aisles, personal care sections, even right at checkout. Based on data tied to your app account or membership card, the system picks out the ad most likely to work on you at the exact moment you walk by. One common example is a $4.48 bag of Doritos showing up right when the system recognizes you've bought that kind of snack before. Another shopper reported a screen near checkout showing the exact toothpaste brand they buy every month, priced at $3.24, right after they'd tossed a completely different item into their cart before they'd even walked near that section. This is a business line Walmart is pushing just as hard as traditional retail. In-store advertising tied to real customer behavior data is a goldmine for brands trying to reach people who are about to make a purchase. For Walmart, it's revenue that costs almost nothing extra to generate. Since the store infrastructure already exists, all they need to add is screens and software. Here's how this affects you in ways you might not expect. Every time you use your membership card or log into the app while shopping, that data gets used to predict what you're about to run out of, which brands you prefer, and to put the right ad in front of you at the exact moment you're most likely to be persuaded, which is while you're standing near the shelf with a cart in hand. I'm not saying this is entirely bad. A well-timed ad can sometimes remind you of something you actually meant to buy, but you should know that every time you swipe that membership card, you're paying with your data, not just your money. Tracking your shopping habits is only the first step. Walmart also wants a piece of how you pay, even when you don't have the money on hand right away. 7. Buy now, pay later has spread to diapers and dog food. You're standing at checkout, the total comes up, and next to the card payment button, there's now an option to split the bill into 4 payments. No interest if you pay on time. A few years ago, this option only showed up for big-ticket items like electronics or furniture. By 2026, it's crept into everyday small purchases too. Diapers, dog food, even a bag of snacks. A $32 bill for diapers and formula can now be split into 4 payments of $8, one every 2 weeks, right there on the checkout screen, with nothing to sign up for besides confirming your phone number. Buy now, pay later services like Klarna are being built deeply into Walmart's checkout process, both in stores and on the app. Instead of applying for a separate credit card, you just select the for-payment option right on the checkout screen. No complicated paperwork, no strict credit check like you'd face with a traditional bank loan. Rolling this option out to small, everyday essentials is a calculated move. Walmart has noticed that once an installment option shows up, the average amount spent per receipt tends to go up because shoppers feel more comfortable tossing in extra items when they think they're only paying a quarter of it right now. It's a very effective way to boost revenue per shopping trip without cutting a single price. For you, this is a real double-edged sword. On a grocery bill of a few dozen dollars, splitting it 4 ways sounds harmless enough. But this habit, if repeated every week, even for small snack purchases, can make it easy to lose track of how much you actually owe, spread across multiple orders at once, without the same gut check feeling you get handing over cash. Add up 5 or 6 of these split payments, each $8 or $10, and you can easily lose track of what you actually owe at any given moment. Sometimes close to $100 scattered across different payment cycles without even realizing it. I'll say this plainly, I don't recommend using buy now, pay later for everyday consumable items like diapers or pet food. Installment plans make sense for big purchases meant to last. But if you're still making payments on a bag of snacks you finished eating a week ago, that's a sign your budget needs a second look, not a sign Walmart is helping you save money. 8. Walmart Plus is racing to become the next Amazon Prime. If you've been thinking of Walmart Plus as just a free delivery subscription, think again. This membership is getting loaded up with new features throughout 2026, following the exact playbook another major online retailer used successfully for years. Walmart Plus's annual membership fee is still lower than the comparable membership from that competitor, and that price gap is exactly what Walmart is using to pull in people considering canceling the other one. Beyond the usual free delivery, Walmart Plus now comes bundled with a video streaming service, a prescription savings program, tap-to-pay scanning on your phone to skip checkout lines entirely, and rumored fuel discounts at partner gas stations. It seems like every few months, another perk gets added to this membership. The strategy here isn't hard to spot. Once you're paying an annual fee and using several of these bundled services, you're a lot less likely to cancel because it feels like giving up multiple things at once instead of just one delivery service. This is the exact formula that helped that other retailer keep hundreds of millions of loyal members for years, and Walmart is copying it selectively, adding perks that fit its own customer base like prescription savings. For you, the real question isn't whether Walmart Plus has a lot of features, it's whether you actually use enough of them to justify the membership fee. If you only order groceries a few times a month and rarely stream anything through this service, most of what you're paying for is just sitting unused. My take is that this membership is worth considering if you genuinely order home delivery often and take regular prescription medications. Those 2 perks alone come close to covering the membership fee. If not, don't let a long list of features convince you you're saving money, when in reality, you're just paying an annual fee you barely touch. But entertainment perks and delivery are only what's visible on the surface. The biggest change to your wallet is happening in a completely different direction. 9. Walmart wants to become your new bank. Have you noticed lately, right at checkout or on the app, Walmart inviting you to sign up for a financial product carrying its own company name, not a bank's name? This isn't just casual advertising, it's a business line Walmart is building out very seriously in 2026. A program called Walmart OnePay is being pushed hard, along with a store-branded credit card and options to apply for a loan or open an account right at checkout, taking just a few minutes on your phone. Instead of going to a traditional bank to fill out paperwork, you can open a financial product while you're still standing in the checkout line. One customer said they only meant to buy about $40 worth of items, but the self-checkout attendant suggested opening a credit card right then for an extra discount on that day's purchase, and the whole approval process was finished before they'd even bagged everything. The reason Walmart is moving into finance isn't just wanting to be a bank for the sake of it. It's because this business has far higher profit margins than selling groceries. Transaction fees, credit card interest, and related services bring in steady income that isn't tied to swings in food prices. With hundreds of millions of customer visits every week, Walmart has a distribution channel for financial products that no traditional bank can match. For you, this means financial products are now being pitched to you right in the middle of a shopping trip, exactly when you have the least time to read the fine print or compare rates against other options. The convenience of signing up in 30 seconds can make it easy to skip the most important step, reading the annual fee and the late payment interest rate. My advice is to treat these offers just like any other financial product, meaning take the time to actually read the terms before you agree to anything, even if you're standing in a checkout line. Convenience doesn't automatically mean it's a good deal, and a credit card opened on the spot at checkout carries all the same risks as any other credit card if you don't pay it off on time. 10. Walmart isn't just a store anymore. It's a complete ecosystem. Looking back at the 9 changes we just covered, one thing becomes clear. Walmart isn't simply the place you stop by for milk and toilet paper every week anymore. It's assembling itself into a closed-loop system where the store, the app, your credit line, drone delivery, streaming service, and AI-calculated suggestions are all tied together into one single account under your name. This didn't come together overnight. It's the result of years of steady investment, acquiring new technology, striking deals with financial services, building out drone infrastructure, and building data centers that process shopping behavior. By 2026, pieces that used to be separate are now connected tightly enough to create one seamless experience, where every purchase you make helps the system understand you just a little bit better. The reason Walmart is chasing this model becomes obvious when you look at another major online retailer that did the exact same thing successfully for years. The more services a customer uses within the same ecosystem, the less likely they are to leave for somewhere else, because switching means giving up multiple conveniences at once, not just one store. For you, the important thing to understand is that every one of these new conveniences comes with a trade-off, even if it's a small one. A smarter app comes at the cost of your habit data. Faster delivery comes at the cost of a fee or an installment payment. Well-targeted ads come at the cost of closer tracking of your behavior. Nothing in this ecosystem is truly free, even when there's no fine print spelling that out. I don't think you need to avoid Walmart because of these changes. A lot of them genuinely add real convenience. But you should walk into that store understanding that every time you swipe a card, every time you open the app, you're stepping into a system built to know more about you and to use that knowledge to sell you more. Out of all 10 changes here, the biggest risk isn't the robots or the drones. It's how easily you can lose track of your spending when prices shift while items sit in your cart and installment plans creep into diapers or snack food. Don't let convenience hide the real number you're paying every week. Next time you're standing at checkout, what small item do you think you'd be most tempted to split into 4 payments first?